Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're doing a World of Tanks video and we're going to be taking a look at the Tier 8 Premium Medium Tank, the M4A1 Revalorise. So, this tank is essentially an M4 Sherman chassis and hull with a slightly upgraded turret and a very good gun, and it's thrown in at tier 8. So it makes you think, okay, well, this thing's going to struggle. It's got a huge profile, the camo rating's terrible, the view range isn't great, the armor's awful. I mean, why would I pick up this tank? And you know, you'd be right to be put off, honestly. The one thing that makes this tank really good is it's a medium, and it's as mobile as you'd expect a medium to be. It's pretty good. But it has 1,400 hit points, which is quite a lot for tier 8 as a medium. And the alpha on the gun is 390. And these shells as well, you've got 200 pen on the basic shells, which are APCR as well. They've got great shell velocity. The heat rounds have 250 pen, so you're starting to be able to pen like most tier 9s and a few tier 10s if you're aiming for weak spots. And then the HE shells, they've got like 50 pen, but still they do a lot more damage, like 480 or something, or 510. So the shells are really good, the penetration's really good, the alpha's really good, because if you're trading with, even with a tier 9 medium, you're going to be, if you're trading one shot for one shot and you're controlling the engagement, then you're going to be able to outtrade them massively. So this tank's great for that, and it's also it plays slightly differently in that as a medium, usually you want to get to a position where you can get multiple side shots on someone or flank someone. With this, essentially, as long as you pop up somewhere that they're not expecting you, you can put a shot in and you've got 400 damage off the bat, and essentially that's like 2 or maybe even 3 shots from any other medium or light. So just getting that one shot is enough, and it gives you more time then to just reposition instead of sticking around and hoping that they're not looking at you and taking shots back. You can just pop up, deal with that massive alpha, and get out of there. And the handling on the gun is pretty good. It's not the best, it's not amazing, it's pretty good though. So without any further ado, let's jump into a game. Hopefully I can do this tank justice, and you'll be able to see what I mean by the gun handling and the penetration. Okay, so we're in a tier 10 game, so this is going to be a bit tricky, but this tank actually has preferential matchmaking, so it actually should only see tier 9s, so unless they've removed that, I'm not sure what's going on with this matchmaking. But anyway, here we are, we're in a tier 10 game. This should be good to show you guys what this tank's like in the worst possible situation. So we've got a bunch of light tanks on their team, and we've got quite a few heavies like the IS-7 and the Conqueror. They might be difficult to damage. Okay, so straight away the first thing I want to do here is get into a good sniping position. So I'm going to be sat just about here behind these rocks, and I can shoot there and I can shoot here, and possibly even cover in this castle over on the right here. Okay, so the E-bar's coming in for some early spots. We weren't actually fast enough to be up there by the time he gets here, so we haven't been spotted. Obviously we're not the fastest medium, but pretty mobile. Certainly no heavy tank, that's for sure. Okay, Udez, let's get a shot into the front of him. Ooh, I didn't go well, did it? Not sure where that shell went. The gun depression on this tank's pretty good, but when you're on a hill like this, because it's quite a long tank and the gun's quite high up, actually it's quite hard to aim down that low even with the good gun depression. Okay, we got shots over there. Nope. I just missed him. We've got a bunch of targets over here. Let's put a shot into the side of the S1. That one missed as well. Getting pretty lucky so far. Alright, let's see if anyone else fancies popping up. The IS-7's actually down here, not over there. So that's interesting. So we might have to deal with him a bit more than I expected. Okay. See if he pops back up in a second. Aha, here we go. Might be about to get a shot in. T49 beat us to it. I do have... oh, okay. I don't have situational awareness. I thought I'd have seen if I got spotted. But I didn't. I'm going to just repair that engine because I think it's unlikely that I'll need to use that repair kit for a while. And we've got a shot into the side of the IS-7, and finally it connects. So that's 400 damage into one of the strongest and most heavily armoured tier 10s with just the standard shells, by the way. These aren't premium shells, even though they're APCR. And I managed to kill him, so took out the IS-7. I mean, fair enough. Like, obviously, you can do that with a lot of tier 8 mediums, but it just goes to show that despite looking fairly harmless, the gun on this is actually pretty monstrous. Okay, let's see if we've got any more targets. I might start to move across here and see if I can help out with those guys over at the castle, because they seem to be getting a few more spots than us, and we seem to be winning this game quite rapidly, so I don't really want to end up just sat here doing nothing while everyone else is dealing all the damage and getting all the kills. So I'm going to rush down here a bit and see if I can get some side shots in over here, shooting through the bush so that I'm less likely to get spotted. Same with these trees here. If I just move away slightly, you'll see when they get solid I can shoot through, but I'm out of range at this point, and unfortunately I have been shot there by the UDES. I think I can fall back perfectly fine, and I want to just make sure that I'm no longer spotted before I pop out and try and help out this side a bit more. Alright, that Pantera should be an easy kill, and someone else took it. That's great. And it looks as though really we've not got that many left over on this side to deal with. I'm getting super unlucky with these shots today. I'm not sure why. This gun's usually very accurate. I mean, you can see the gun handling is, I mean, it's a tiny circle, and I am using a mod to zoom in further, so the standard max zoom in I think is I think it's this, so like, you know, that's pretty good, I think. Okay, let's try and get to the back and find this ISM. Okay, that UDES is almost down. I haven't got shots on him, so let's just focus on the ISM. And there he is. Can we shoot him here? Doesn't look like it. Ah, yes. Side of the turret, maybe? Okay, we are going to struggle a bit frontally to damage this guy. So I'm going to fire one shot and load up the heat, but I think he'll already be dead by the time we reload. The reload is quite lengthy. Nearly 11 seconds is quite a long time to be waiting as a medium. So if you're not actually trading shots and you're more just in a straight up fight against another medium, the DPM's probably not as good as other tier 8 mediums, so you'll probably get shredded with that. You're also not really able to chain track people because of the long reload. So there we go. Okay, and another big a big positive of the M4A1 is actually the credits. I mean, I got 1k damage there, which is by no means the best. We had a great team. In fact, I was really towards the bottom of the leaderboard, and still we made a nice profit of 30k. Even without premium, I'd be looking at about 15k, and that was a standard, or well, less than standard game. Definitely not a great example of it. I think you do get additional experience and credits for destroying vehicles of a higher tier, so that might have weighed into that. Anyway, we're going to go for one more game. Hopefully we get some more favourable matchmaking here. And there we go. So a tier 9 game and a whole bunch of tier 7s. So this should be really good. I think we can play a bit more confidently. We don't have to sit back and snipe so much. We can get in there a bit more. If I lose a lot of health, then I will fall back. But yeah, this is good. This is a good match for us. Okay, so 200 pen on those standard APCR shells. So who can't I pen with 200? The Oho, maybe. Pretty much everyone. So And even if I am having trouble, if they're angling or side scraping or something, I can always just load up those heat shells, which aren't that expensive. I think they're only about 8 grand each. So if you only fire maybe 3 of them when you need to, you're still going to come out with a healthy profit in this tank. So there we go. Oh, look at that water. Just looks beautiful. Come on, keep it going, guys. Let's go. Nope, didn't quite get the angle there. Okay, so this game I'm going to talk a bit more about how to play the M4A1, and not so much about it, but how you should use it if you have one or if you're thinking of getting one. So what I like to do is never engage a target unless I have hard cover nearby, because I don't want to fire and be spotted and then have to try and rush towards cover, because this tank's not really fast enough to do that, just to fire and then retreat. I think you've got to have cover nearby. You play it almost like a heavy with no armor. That's how I'd describe it. But of course, try to flank whenever you can. I mean, you should do that with a heavy anyway, really. But people don't tend to so much. Can we get a shot on this guy? No, it's quite low profile, that WZ. And let's see if I can get some damage into him yet. Ooh, yeah, frontal armor's a little bit thick there, and just well armored as well. So I am going to be loading the heat shells for this next shot. He manages to get one into me and retreat, but as soon as he pops back out, I'll be ready for him. Managed to pop one into the lower plate there, which worked out nicely for us. Here's the Lorraine. I'm not loaded and he doesn't realise that, so I can kind of scare him off a bit, although he's getting massive damage into me. That's almost 1,000 damage, but we know that if he fires once more, he's out of shells. In fact, he may already be out of shells at this point. Okay, so damaged engine, not ideal. The speed is pretty crucial to the gameplay of this tank, to be honest. I think the Scorpion just wants to go for this Lorraine. I guess he's probably still loading his clip, reloading his clip. Ah, really should have connected that shell. Oh, he has fired once there. He's fired again. Oh, he's probably got that next shot. Okay, time to push up round the side, and the standard B is going for me. Ah, I didn't see that 45 TP. I think at that point I should have been falling back. I shouldn't have been staying up front like that. But there we go. You live and learn. Had a good game. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the post-game stats. And welcome back. So these are the results from that last battle. We did lose it in the end, and I can kind of see why. I mean, when you look at what I managed to achieve, 394 damage, that's one shot. So they managed to do 1,400 damage to me, and in return I managed to get one shot into them, which is under 400 damage. So I didn't particularly help the situation. And despite me saying it's a good credit earning tank, if you have a game like this and you lose horribly and you didn't do anything either, then yeah, you're not going to make many credits. Most tier 8s you'd lose quite a lot of credits at this point. Still making credits if you've got premium. If you don't have premium, then yeah, I mean it's a bit of a loss. However, I did fire that premium shell into the WZ, which was our only damaging shell, and I think without that I would have broken even on credits. So you're not really going to lose credits playing this, and you're certainly going to gain a lot of credits if you have some good games. Overall, I think it's a great tank. I've got 117 battles in this tank, and considering it's just pretty much an M4 Sherman with a bigger gun, it's quite impressive that it's as enjoyable to play and as good as it is in tier 8. I think mostly in those tier 9 games, that's when you have a really good time. The tier 10 games usually aren't quite so forgiving, especially with having such little armor and bad camo rating. You get spotted and just insta-killed quite a lot of the time. when you do die. When you don't die and when you play this tank right, it is an absolute beast, and I'd really recommend you picking it up if you're in the market for a tier 8 medium premium tank. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I thought I'd just quickly wrap this up, and obviously this is the equipment that I run on it, and the consumables as well. You can see what I'm training my crew with. I think very soon I'm going to be retraining my commander, so I've got that situational awareness. Usually I do go for that first, and I think with this tank, I bought it quite a long time ago and I just went for repairs. So soon I'll be swapping that over. You did see in the game I got a bit confused that I didn't have situational awareness. I thought, oh, I'm not spotted, and took a load of damage for it. So okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm going to be uploading more regular World of Tanks gameplay, and I'll be reviewing some of my other tanks that I have. If there's any tank you want to see in particular, leave it in the comments, and if you've got any questions for me about the game or my channel, leave them in the comments, and I'll try and reply to as many as I can. See you next time, guys.